everybody, it's your girl Tara Michelle. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel, Opinionated Scents, our safe space to discuss all things fragrance, whether we like them or not. Today we're going to discuss green fragrances. I had to narrow this list down because I had about 50 fragrances that touted green notes. However, I want to be specific in focusing only on those that actually smell green. So it's going to be a two-part series. I'll do 10 in this video, and then I'll upload another video with another 10. I want to thank Blanca because she requested this a while ago. Back then, she didn't really have any green fragrances in her collection. By now, she's probably accumulated some, but we're going to go ahead and roll with it anyway. So let's jump right into the video. The first fragrance I want to talk to you guys about is one I've actually mentioned several times on my video. I think of it as a beautiful, sophisticated fragrance. Oh, but it's a beautiful green fragrance as well. This is Baisor Vole or Baisor Vole from the house of Cartier. This is lily, green notes and citruses. That's how the notes appear on Fragrantica. And that's what you get. It's a clean, almost slightly soapy smelling fragrance. You guys know I don't like soapy, so you know it's not too bad. But it's beautiful. The use of lily in this just makes it ultra fresh and clean. And I don't get too much on the citrus. This is a lily star. So if you like lily or lily of the valley or green lily fragrances, you're really going to love this. And I love this top. It's like a flask. I absolutely can't get enough. But fresh, clean, green, elegant, sophisticated, and classy. It can absolutely be an everyday signature scent fragrance. No one's going to be offended by this, and it's beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful for spring and summer. The next one I want to talk to you guys about, I've mentioned plenty of times before as one of the oddest and rarest beauties in my collection, because 2 or 3 years ago, I would not have cared for this fragrance. I know I wouldn't have. It is something that I can't really describe. There are plenty of notes in here, but what you're mostly going to get is you're going to get the lily of the valley that opens it up. You're going to get the rose, the peony, the jasmine, the cyclamen, the amber, the patchouli. You know, this is a green, musky fragrance, because you know, Narciso Rodriguez is the king of musks, if you ask me. But this fragrance is so elegant and beautiful, while being like ablaze with its greenness. Like, you're not going to miss out on that. Even for all the notes I stated, I think somehow the lily of the valley plays off of the rose to become the more boisterous of the two. And the amber, the musk, and the patchouli just help this last longer. Keeps it smoother, a little creamier, with a spicy kick to it. So this isn't your average run-of-the-mill floral, green, you know, boring, flat. No, this has depth. It has character. It has texture. I freaking love this. It's just so pretty. But you have to have an open mind and a pretty versatile palette for this one. I don't consider it to be a safe blind buy. I recommend you get your nose on it unless you love those notes and you know or are familiar with that type of combination being put together. Or if you're an extreme fan of this line overall, then there's a high likelihood that you're going to like this. But baby, I love this. It's amazing. Beautiful everyday signature scent, again, for spring and summer. Most of these on this list, I can say that about. Matter of fact, all of them on this list, I can say that about. They really are perfect signature scents for spring and summer. This next one is called Blanca from the house of Oscar de la Renta, and it is a beautiful floral. Again, we have green lily at the top. You also have pear and rose and green leaves and tuberose and sandalwood and orange blossom and musk. You just have a lot going on in here. But for all intents and purposes, what you're going to get, you're going to get that pear and that rose with that lily of the valley and those green leaves. You get it all eventually, but in the opening, that is what you're welcomed with when this hits the air and you smell it. It is so pretty. This is another one that I consider to be a little sophisticated, but it's also sweet enough to where it can just be everyday signature scent. Doesn't need to be for a special occasion like a award night or anything like that. You can wear this every day in spring and summer. I actually recommend that if you're the type of person who likes signature fragrances, and you will do that, you will wear one fragrance for every season, or one fragrance for spring and summer and another for fall and winter, try this one. I just get the feeling that someone who likes florals, clean, fresh, green florals, would absolutely adore this, and I recommend it all the time. It's also a very good compliment getter. Again, that is Bella Blanca from the house of Oscar de la Renta. Okay, let's talk about KKW Diamonds 2 collections, Kim's Emerald Green. I've talked about this so many times on my channel. I love this fragrance for fall and for spring. You have green notes, green mandarin, and pear blossom. There are tons of other notes in here, but that is what I pick up. This is the perfect blend of green and sweetness. A lot of times when you have a green fragrance, you have to sacrifice something. You know, if you really like the green element to it, sometimes it's a little too soapy, or sometimes they might add some pink pepper or pepper and it just becomes too spicy, or it may lean too masculine, you know, but with this one, they did it right. They matched the perfect amount of sweetness for the amount of intense green that you get in this. This is beautiful. It is feminine. It is still slightly sophisticated as well. This could be date night appropriate. This could be picnic appropriate. You could still wear it to work as well. I just find this very versatile. And I'm always, every time I smell it, so surprised at the house that it comes from for the level of enjoyment I get from it. And it doesn't smell like a celebrity fragrance or anything like that. I really enjoy this one. It is my second bottle, as you guys know. And yeah, I like this one. It is a pleasant surprise. This next one is called Versense from the house of Versace, or Versace. This one is very prominent on the citruses, but there are certain things it has in it that makes the greenness stand out. This has green mandarin, as some of the others have. This has lily, as all of the others so far have had in this video. You also have some fig, you have some narcissus, some musk, some olive tree, cardamom, if I didn't say that already, Virginia cedar, you know, bergamot, citruses. But the green, I think that olive tree, that narcissus, and the green mandarin and the lily, and that musk, those are the ones that stick out, you know, heavily to me, along with the citruses. The bergamot and the citrus notes at the top, you can't escape those. This is a beautiful citrus green burst of energy. And it can also, I think this is more unisex. There isn't a lot of sweetness here, but I think the fig and other things do add enough sweetness that it doesn't just pull 100% masculine. But this definitely is more masculine feeling and leaning than, let's say, a Chance Chanel Eau Fraiche. So, or a Chanel Chance Eau Fraiche. But I really do enjoy this one. I think it smells equally as good on a man as it does a woman, but it's a beautiful use of green paired with citruses, and I adore it. Again, that is Versense by Versace. This next one is from the house of Tocca and is called Amelia. I have a Tocca video, so I go really in depth about her in that video. Today, I just want to talk about the greenness of her opening. Even though the grass note is a little further down the line, it is so prominent in the opening. This is a beautiful green fig fragrance. This is a very green opening. This green opening is almost akin to Mediterranee from the Jardin line. If you've seen my Jardin video, then you already know. It's one of those that hits you in the face. This one is more feminine though, and this one also dies down relatively quickly. So by the 5-minute mark, the green is the least of your concerns. It's still there playing subtly in the background, but you're gonna get the ambrette stepping up. You're going to get the fig taking over and it becoming a sweet, beautiful feminine fragrance. But you cannot deny her green opening, which is why she made this list. It is one that is poignant and loud and boisterous and man, just captivating. This next one comes from none other than the greenest line I have in my collection, and that is going to be from the house of Hermes with their Jardin line. This is called Le Jardin de Monsieur. Very happy fragrance, very uplifting and invigorating fragrance for me, but it is also very green, a green citrus. So you have kumquat, jasmine, mint, and green sap. Come on, with the use of green sap, you know that's coming through. But it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's not overwhelming or overtaking. It's a nice amount of sweetness, which I can only attribute to the jasmine and the kumquat. And the mint just gives it a calming factor. And the green sap is very much from the earth. It's not earth like patchouli, but earth like green. So this is a beautiful fragrance. I do have a video about this complete line. I'll put the card up here somewhere for you guys to check that out if you haven't already. Again, this is Le Jardin de Monsieur from the house of Hermes. Here's another one from the Jardin line from the house of Hermes. This time we're dealing with Jardin in Mediterranee. This is the one that has the loudest green opening of any fragrance in my collection. It is very masculine, opening up with the cypress and the juniper berries. They stay around all the way through the mid, but the dry down of this, when the fig and the lemon and the bergamot come alive, there's a red cedar in here that is exquisite as well. But because the juniper berries and the cypress are so masculine leaning, that red cedar kind of sort of leans that way as well. So I consider this to be very unisex. I would say the first 2/3 of it are very much on the masculine side, but it's the dry down that kept this in my collection. The last two fragrances are also going to be from the Jardin line from the house of Hermes. This next one is called Jardin sur le Nil. This is the first one that I purchased from the line. This has green mango, carrots, tomato. Like, it really is like a vegetable garden, but then it also has beautiful iris and musk. There's so much going on in here, but the opening of it is very green. That green mango and citruses. Beautiful green citrus opening. Jardin sur le Toit. This one has that beautiful red apple note, but you get smacked in the face with the grass note first. So you got grass, you got rosemary, and then you can talk about the rose and the red apple. There's plenty more in here, but that is what you get when you're smelling this, the grass note. Boom. And then the apple comes in and goes, it's okay, calm down. Everything's gonna be all right. And the rosemary, this one also almost comes across a little bit herbal because of that rosemary, you know? It almost smells like it could have thyme in it as well, but that's not listed as a note. It's just the vibe I get. I really like this. It is green throughout. The grass note does not go anywhere. It's just that the apple starts to come alive a little bit more. The rose starts to show itself and it becomes way more feminine. In the dry down, the grass is just ever so subtle. And the red apple is really the star of this. I love it throughout the longevity of it. Yes, the grass opens it up and stays around, but it's the red apple that keeps this in my collection. This was part 1 of my top 20 green fragrances in my collection. I hope you enjoyed. I also hope that if you stuck around, you've clicked that like button by now and selected that notification bell so that you never miss any of my future uploads, because we already know you're subscribed, right? Or you forgot? Go ahead and click that subscribe button too. Join the fam. I will come up with part 2 a little later, of course, after I post this one. And I also have kind of a third part to this series, but you'll find out about that later. Anyway, I always want to talk to you guys in the comments. So I would love to know if you own any of these or if you smelled any of them and what your thoughts are. I also want you to drop a comment and let me know what your favorite green fragrances are, or if you just have one, or what green fragrances are you curious about. If none of these, tell me. I might be curious about them too. Or better yet, they may be on my part 2 list. You never know. Until then,